I really like this picture of 1970, and you can see a brand new lineup of Mustangs at a Ford dealership. There's a Boss 429, possibly some Gran Torinos that were the 429 cars there, Boss 302 and a Mach 1, and it's really cool to see those all lined up there. And you know, back in the day, it wasn't very common for people to take pictures. Today we have cell phones that have really good cameras on them, and it's more common now to take pictures of your first car or to go to the dealership and take pictures of cars. And so there are pictures floating around like that, especially on social media. But back then there weren't as many photos taken like this. And so this is a really neat piece of history to see. And even in the early 2000s, the generation that I'm most excited about, people didn't go in and take pictures of cars. It wasn't very common to pull out a camera in the Ford dealership and take a picture. I looked at brand new '03 Mach 1s at the local Ford dealership here and 2001 Bullets back when they were brand new, and I never took a camera in there, and I never took pictures, and I think it would have been a little weird to do that. And so luckily there are some people who had taken some pictures of when they bought their Terminator Cobras brand new, and I have some of those pictures here that I've been collecting over the last couple years. And I want to thank my friend Tyler. He has a beautiful Terminator Cobra in Mistachrome. He also has had a competition orange Terminator that I've done a story about on the channel, and he collects a lot of the really good Ford SVT merchandise, and I think it's really neat that he has access to a lot of these things, and some of the media in this video has come from him, so I want to thank him for that. Now, starting out, I want to talk about my friend Kurt's 2003 Sonic Blue Terminator. Kurt is a good friend of mine. He just moved here locally. It's been a real blessing to be friends with him and to be able to talk and enjoy cars together. He's a really great guy, and he lived back east, and when he was working for the Ford dealerships back then, he had a 2001 Cobra, and he got to go for a ride in the pre-production car, the non-VIN number car that Ford had at the time, which was also a Sonic Blue Terminator. And after he rode in that car, he had to have a Terminator, and so he ordered one. And it's a really cool story. He talks about how he, working at Ford, could have been eligible to get cars on a discount program, but the Terminators were not part of that program. And so after a little while, he continued asking, and one of the salesmen was able to help him get a Terminator lined up. Somebody had ordered one, and the order had fallen through, the sale had fallen through, and so he was able to get one. And so these are the pictures of his Terminator. Of course, he tells the story a lot better than I do, but look how cool it is to see this car. And I think he was telling me that when he ordered the car, he didn't know that the sale for this one had fallen through, and they weren't planning on selling him this car. And then all of a sudden they called him and said, "Hey, your car's here." But it was snowy outside, and it wasn't a good time to drive it back. But anyway, these are just some pictures he had of the car, and it still had all the plastic on it, non-dealer prep. He had also mentioned that back then the Terminator wheels in the early production had problems with the chrome, and so his car had the machined wheels, and he was able to buy the chrome ones later through Ford. But I thought that was a very interesting piece of history that I don't know if we know about. So in 2002 at the Chicago Auto Show, there's the famous burnout that Tom Scarpello did in the Sonic Blue Terminator non-VIN car. This was one of the pre-production cars, and he was with John Coletti, and they did that burnout on the stage. It's very famous. I absolutely love this. Everybody loved this, and it's very famous in the Terminator world if you know anything about the Cobra and everything. And the book Iron Fist Lead Foot talks about this, and TerminatorCobra.com talks about it, has these pictures and stuff. But there were two Cobras that were taken to the auto show. Of course, there was the Sonic Blue, but there was also a Torch Red convertible. And these cars are important to the story right now because although these cars were at the auto show and they were the cars that were debuted there, when they were brought to Chicago the night before, they had both of these cars at a high volume Ford dealership where select people were invited to come see the cars before they debuted them at the show. And there's a really cool story here that has to do with my friend Kurt, who bought his Sonic Blue Terminator. So the really neat thing about this pre-show at that high volume Ford dealership was that they opened the hood on these cars and there was a surprise. The red convertible had a surprise sitting under the hood that nobody knew about until the day before the show, and it was too late to change anything about it. And that was, some of the engineers had gone in and done the process of building the Terminator engine so they could see what it was like, and they actually signed the valve covers themselves. And if you look here, you'll see their signatures in marker on the valve cover itself, or paint pen or whatever it was, and they left it on there. And this engine actually made it into a Mach 1 when the car was destroyed, because they had to destroy these pre-production cars. But nobody knew that that engine had made it into the car that was going to be at the auto show. So that's pretty cool. But the real cool part about this story that I like the most is when this car was at the pre-show at the high volume Ford dealership, everybody was crowded around it. And there's a really famous picture here, which is in the book Iron Fist, Leadfoot. And if you look closely, you can actually see my friend Kurt. He was there this night at the pre-show. So that's my friend and his wife, both there. He even showed me she still has the jacket she was wearing that night. But the really cool story was, not only was he there at the show, but they took him for a ride in that blue Terminator. And it was one of the marketing guys, and he said the guy was an absolute crazy driver. He took him flying down the roads, took him 90 miles an hour through the streets, stopped and did a big burnout in front of a bunch of import cars that were lined up there. And the guy had said, "I hate those rice rockets." And then he took off, flying down the streets again, coming up over a hill. Some lady was backing out of a driveway and he went right around her, didn't even lift off the throttle. So real crazy story, really cool piece of Terminator history there. But I wanted to get into the pictures of these cars as they were brand new. Of course, Kurt had his brand new. He showed me those pictures. Those are really neat. I wanted to share those with everybody. But here we go with some Terminators sitting on the front row of a dealership outside. It looks like a black and possibly a satin silver, might be a silver metallic Terminator there. And you can see, if this is so early, that could be a satin silver Terminator, which is one of the rarest of the colors. Actually, it's the rarest color they made. And they did satin silver for half a year, and then they changed it to silver metallic, just like the parchment seats were in some of the earlier cars, and really neat options like that. But this is a really cool picture here, and they even had a $500 under invoice written on the windshield, and that's really cool to see, especially because Kurt was telling me how when he was looking to buy one, they had the dealer markups on them and they were over invoice. So that's a real interesting picture. I'm really glad somebody took that picture. And then next is a Mistachrome Cobra coupe, and you can see it still has the plastic from the transport, and there's the transport truck right behind it. Very cool picture to see. So this would be 2004 for this picture, because the Mistachrome was only in 04. I mean, technically maybe it was in late 03 when the 04s were coming out. And here it is on the back of the truck. This is when it was delivered. Really cool to see. Really neat to see how these cars arrived, and to think of such a valuable special car coming on a transport truck like that. And as we continue looking, there is another Mistachrome picture here that is a convertible, and it still has the plastic on the top and on the bumpers, and really cool to see how it was shipped. Next up, we have a zinc yellow Cobra coupe. Still has all the markings on the windows. That's really cool to see. If you look in the bottom of the picture, it's actually dated June 26th of 2002, so this would have been one of the very first ones, and there is a Sonic Blue right behind it. Here we have a Torch Red, looks to be an 03, and it has the machined wheels on it, sitting at the dealership, and a really cool picture of the gentleman buying it. It looks like the salesman and the gentleman who bought the car brand new. Really cool picture. Some people were so lucky to get these cars brand new. It was something that I could never have done because I was 16, 17 years old at the time, but really cool to see another picture of somebody the first day they got the car. And here we have a Sonic Blue coupe with the plastic still on the seats, pre-dealer prep. There's the car sitting at the lot right when it arrived. So cool to see how all the little pieces of tape or plastic or whatever it is on the car when it was delivered. Also, something worth mentioning is every Terminator Cobra came with the running pony on the front in the grille. It did not come with the snake. It's a common misconception because everybody trades them out for snakes. Both my Terminator Cobras had the snakes on them when I bought them from the previous owners because they had been changed out. It's very common. I prefer the snake, but I know some people do prefer the running pony and they think it looks pretty cool. But every Cobra came with a running pony in the grill, and so here's some early pictures to prove that. Next we have a Mystachrome coupe, and this person had the car shipped to them from the dealership, from what I understand. Here are the pictures of it on the showroom floor, something that you just don't see a lot. Really cool that they had had these pictures either taken or took these pictures when they went to see the car. Bone stock, beautiful car, brand new. So I really like seeing these pictures and seeing a car in the dealership. Of course, the plastic's off of it because it's been dealer prepped, but there's the Mystachrome steering wheel. The car was just brand new with no miles on it. And speaking of steering wheels, something that's really worth mentioning is we saw this picture earlier of the Sonic Blue coupe that has the blue plastic on the steering wheel. Obviously, it's a Sonic Blue car and it has the medium graphite seats there. But the blue plastic on the steering wheel is special in this case because my friend Tyler had just posted about this, that the Mystachrome and 10th anniversary cars came with red plastic on the steering wheel. And that red plastic was to help identify it as a Mystachrome or a 10th anniversary car as it was going down the assembly line, so it was easier for production. So there's some red plastic there. So looking at this Mystachrome Terminator, you can see it still doesn't have the dealer prep done to it yet, and the plastic is still on the seats on the inside, and you can see the red plastic on the steering wheel, which would verify that this is a Mystachrome car. And something else that stands out to me in this picture is it has the little chin spoiler or bumper guard pieces on there, so I'm not sure if those were all there. I have seen them on Mach 1s going down the assembly line, and I think even in the book it does show those, so that's pretty cool. Next we have a 10th anniversary convertible sitting next to a black Terminator, and here you can see the tops down, the Colorado red insert seats, and the 10th anniversary carbon fiber leather steering wheel. Of course, all of the neat 10th anniversary things like the carbon fiber leather shift boot, shift knob. You can see the plastic on the gas pedal that says Cobra only. I'll insert a picture right here so you can see what it looks like, but that's what you're looking at there. So you can just see the 10th anniversary floor mats, the red door pulls, everything about the 10th car. That's really cool to see in a picture there. Stock engine bay, brand new, really cool to see. And here's the lineup of all the Cobras and GTs there and the convertible pulling out. So it looks like we have a GT and then a torch red, a black, Sonic Blue, silver, couple of gray convertibles it looks like, and then the 10th anniversary. Really cool to see. What a cool picture. And here we have another Mystachrome Terminator in the front next to a black Mach 1, and it looks like another Mystachrome and a white Celine and perhaps a red fire convertible Terminator. And that's a really cool picture to see there, all lined up at a really nice Ford dealership. My friend who owned the local Ford dealership had the SVT certified dealer and he could sell SVT products, but when the '01 Cobras and later came out, especially the Terminators, it was not an SVT dealer anymore. He had sold the Ford dealership and the new owner did not want the SVT stuff there. So I did not get to see any of these cars at the local Ford dealership at that time. I did see the Bullets and Mach 1s, but I didn't get to see any of these. So it's really cool to see a high volume dealership that would have so many of these Cobras there. So here we have a really cool advertisement for Mustangs that were brand new in 2004. We have a competition orange Terminator Cobra, and we have a screaming yellow. Both the colors my brother and I own. Pretty cool. Here's an Oxford white. Looks really good with the chrome wheels especially. And look at the blue Mach 1. There's an Azure Blue Mach 1 peeking back there underneath the awning of the dealership. And a convertible with parchment top. And it looks like a torch red Terminator back behind the awning on that side. Here's a screaming yellow Mach 1, and I think it's actually pretty cool that it says interior upgrade package. So that's something that is the only option besides the automatic transmission on a Mach 1, so it's really neat that the dealer would put that in there. We also have what looks to be a Sonic Blue Celine S281, which is supercharged with chrome wheels, center exhaust, extreme rear spoiler, upgraded brakes. Pretty cool to see that. And I like seeing that this is a 2003 Celine S281, and it says it's the last new 03 remaining in stock. Fully loaded, Celine racing seats, chrome wheels, etc. So that's pretty cool to see that one. And what's really interesting about that is here is another advertisement, and it shows the Terminator. And what's cool about that is you can see in the bottom corner it says it's built in, not added on, such as the supercharger. So we're looking at the Celines and the other advertisement, but here's a dealership that actually recognizes what a Terminator Cobra is, and they're advertising that this car comes this way. So pretty cool to see these old advertisements. This dealership is out of business from what Tyler had mentioned. This is another piece that was taken from Tyler's Instagram, and you can see all these really cool things that he has like this. And there's his Instagram, comp_281, with another cool picture, throwback. This would be the Ford display, or the SVT display that was at the Ford Carlisle show in 2002. And here's a really cool ad in a newspaper for a 2004 SVT Cobra, and it's priced at $28,900. It says one at this price. So they're trying to close out the cars. Of course, the 2005 model year was coming out, and everybody liked the retro look. And a lot of people went and bought those new GTs in 2005. I remember people trading in an '01 Bullet to get one. But it's really neat that you could see these cars were actually on closeout at one point. And I believe my brother's Screaming Yellow '04 Terminator was in the showroom as a leftover car from '04 when the original owner bought it. And my brother was able to buy it from that original owner. But look how you have the car MSRP $35,895 and then the PF discount. Look at that, $3,900 off, which brings the selling price down to $31,995, and then a manufacturer rebate of $3,000. So that's bringing it all the way down to $28,995. This is a really neat piece here. It's a 2003 SVT ad planner, and I assume this is what the dealerships had to choose from for their artwork or pictures they would put in newspapers or advertising somewhere. It's really hard to read. It says, please call 1-800-FORD-SVT to request to have the logo or image emailed to you. The file formats available are indicated under each logo or image. To ensure quality reproduction of image, forward electronic file to publication or graphic department assembling advertisement. So it's really kind of hard to read all these, but it's really neat to see all the different types of artwork they had for these cars for the dealerships. So here's a little bit of going through these, if you can see them. 2003 SVT Cobra. Here we have it again going the other direction. Here it looks like a more dark picture of the car, like a black or a darker color. Here we have the black headed the other direction. And here we have a convertible, and then the convertible headed the other way. And then the convertible in dark color. Convertible headed the other way in dark color. And of course the 10th anniversary edition of the Cobra. And those were offered in black, silver, and red, so this looks like a darker color. This could be more of the silver. But here's it going the other way, kind of hard to see with the glare. This is still in the plastic. And here is a black 10th anniversary. This is probably what it would be if they were trying to advertise for the black 10th anniversary Cobra. You can see the wheels especially. And there's the black headed the other way. And of course the 10th anniversary convertible. headed both different directions. And of course the black 10th anniversary convertible. And so here we have the 10th anniversary, a little better picture, more detailed, kind of a close-up, higher quality, and also the normal 03 Cobra. Just a little bit better quality picture there so you can actually see the artwork. And of course there's all the logos and too. We don't need to go over all of those, but that's pretty cool to see. Now I have touched on this before. I think I made a separate video about this. It was actually a build sheet for Terminator Cobra, specifically going down the assembly line early on to make sure that they were getting all their parts. Some customers actually found these inside their car, so I think that's actually really cool. Now something I did want to talk about, I have made videos about this other Terminator Cobra and a couple more. Here is some original documentation from a car, original title, all that stuff. This was a zinc yellow coupe that had like 300 miles on it, and my friend owns the car now, and I just wanted to go through and show some more of these pictures and kind of go over what some of these cars look like for collectors who still have them. There are people who have these cars with very, very low miles, even lower than this, like 4 or 5 mile cars, and so we'll go over some of those just to kind of see that, since we're talking about what these cars were like new. And this is what you could expect, all the stuff to come with the car if you had kept everything, or if you had collected everything that the dealer was offering at the time. So here's a beautiful engine bay shot of an original 300 mile zinc yellow Cobra like we were talking about. Here's a Mystic Chrome one that has a bunch of stuff in the trunk there. Lots of really neat documentation. Of course, the last Terminator ever made. Here's some pictures of it on the assembly line. Redfire convertible, I've done a story on that car. And I've also done stories on these other cars. Here's a 5 mile 10th anniversary Terminator Cobra with the plastic still on it. So people still have cars today that look just like this, that still have the plastic on them. This is another one that the plastic was removed, but the interior still had it. I believe this car was driven, as a matter of fact, and you can see the gas pedal still had that plastic on there, the Cobra only dealer removal tab. And this is another really neat catalog book from 2004. Has the 10th anniversary brake caliper set you could buy. It has the whole engine if you wanted to buy a crate engine for a Terminator, and then all of the neat specific Terminator pieces were in this catalog, and even the wiper blades were in there, and the 10th anniversary shift knob, shift boot, all that stuff. Pretty cool to see. You can see here they even offer the seats, which they say can fit as long as you have the power front seat. It's original equipment. And here you can see that the actual wiper blades are 0.50 of an inch longer, and the airfoil for the wiper blades are included with those special blades. If you know about the Terminator Cobras, they came that to keep the blades planted against the windshield, and the actual wiper arms are 0.75 of an inch longer. And so you can buy all that, as well as the classic 03 Mustang Cobra fold-away mirrors, the export mirrors, Terminator mirrors. Here they call them color-keyed fold-away mirrors. Fits 99 to 03 Mustangs and Cobras with power mirrors. Must be painted to match color of car. Sold in pairs. And I'm sure you could get them for a lot better of a price than what people are asking for them today. And you can see the 7-spoke 10th anniversary wheels there. I think that's interesting, and they call them charcoal because they were an anthracite color. You could get a special pulley cover that has the snake on it, as well as the Cobra hood, and it says it must be purchased with the bumper cover, because if you know, the hood and the bumper cover on the Terminator fit differently than they would on a Mach 1 or a GT. I think looking at this picture of the crate engine is really neat because it says complete engine assembly from the throttle body to the oil pan, 390 horsepower at 6,000 RPM, rated at 390 foot-pounds of torque. You know, a crate engine for high-tech street rods and custom-built cars. Premium fuel required. Direct replacement for 2003 Mustang Cobra engine. So it's pretty neat that Ford offered those engines as crate engines, and I know somebody who actually has one that's never been run, and I saw one for sale a long time ago as well, so that's pretty cool to see. And you know, the 10th anniversary stuff, I didn't know that they sold that in the catalog, like the embossed leather simulated carbon fiber shift knob, which came on the 10th anniversary Cobras, as well as the shift boot. So I didn't know that that was something they offered. Pretty cool to see that it was in the catalog, and maybe that catalog wasn't available to just anybody. And I do want to talk about this black convertible Terminator, and this car has very low miles, 5.5 miles on it, and it's still in all the plastic. I love seeing all the stickers and everything just the way it came, and it still even has the Cobra seat covers, the plastic over the seats, and so many really neat little pieces there of documentation. And this car was also featured in the Barn Finds website, and I really love just seeing this. This is really cool. Now, you do have a lot of people who get angry about this, and they say that car has missed out on life. It's never been driven. They complain that it's gonna leak from all the seals. They're all dry rotted out and everything. And who cares? It's a museum piece at this point. But I think people enjoy their cars different ways, and I'm happy that this person enjoys that their car is a prime example of what a brand new Terminator Cobra was, because all of them started out this way, but very, very few, if not only a couple, are left just like this. And so if they want to keep it this way, I'm totally cool with that. I think it's neat to have it as a museum collector piece, and it should be worth a lot of money one day. So I just wanted to make this video and put up these pictures in video format. I'd rather watch videos than read or search for all these in individual places. I thought it would be neat to make this compilation video that showed all of these pictures of when these cars were brand new, and I think it's really neat that some people took pictures of their cars and thought to do so, because not only was it uncommon for people to take cameras to the dealerships, but a lot of people were so excited to get their new cars, they didn't think about taking a picture of it. They just wanted to go out and drive it. And today, I think things are different. Everybody's taking pictures of their cars, posting them to social media. They're excited about them. And, you know, I've gone to the Ford dealership around here and looked at some of these cars, and there are some brand new 5.0 Mustangs that still have little dealer prep pieces that were not taken off, like the little stickers with the QR code on the tire, the wheel, and other little stickers that were left over. And I've been able to see a new GT500 still in the wrapper like this. They call these wrapper cars. So really cool. You know, I have a friend who's got a couple of these still in the wrapper that are called wrapper cars, and it's nice to see them like that. And I just wanted to make this and share it with everybody so you could all enjoy this documentation. And again, thanks to my friends who have shared these pictures with me, and I'm grateful that they've done that and let me enjoy seeing these cars when they were brand new. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for more Mustang content.